Hello, I'm William Gallagher and this is 58 Keys, which as ever, as always, it's for writers like you and me who use and obviously write on Macs and iPhones and iPads. Do the subscribing thing and the clicking of the bell thing, because there's always so much to talk about. Really, the point of the talking though, it's normally to go about writing tools, yes, writing software, services, the hardware we can buy, and I don't know, to kind of talk about all of those as part of our writing. Sometimes we can delay our writing very nicely by playing with these things, but today I want to really particularly slap them together, writing and technology in one to achieve something. So this is a first look review of Apple's new Freeform app, but it's also the now annual 58 Keys, what in the world are we going to do next kind of thing. It's my annual planning your writing year, and this time I'm going to have a go at plotting out my 2023 entirely in the new Freeform. Some of it out here in the very, very cold. Oh, a couple of things to note. Freeform, it's a new Apple app, free Apple app that's for brainstorming, for figuring out ideas, and it runs on Macs and iPhones and iPads. It's actually important that it runs on all of these. You should be able to just grab any screen and carry on working with something. And it's also key that as well as you or I doing this doodling, brainstorming lark, we're able to do it together and with other people at the same time. So I'm here in my car in the cold. You're, ooh, nice spot. But between us, maybe we've got 5 friends across 3 different bars, 2 different continents, and we can all pile into the same thing at once. Can't decide if that's good or bad. I mean, I'm trying to make a note here, and some fellas from another country scribbling, no, that's not how you spell myriad. Well, it is. I'm sure it's useful collaborating in Freeform, and actually Apple very clearly regards this as Freeform's core feature. And yet, you and I here, we're going to ignore it completely. Instead, can we as writers use this Freeform to help figure out our ideas and our plans in this case? Also, actually, I'm going to ignore the Mac version of Freeform, chiefly because as I record this, it isn't available yet. I've been trying out and using the beta test version of Freeform on my iPad and a little bit on my iPhone. You might see some of that. That's what we're going to be using though, chiefly the iPad, because I can sit here, add something. I can get where I'm going. I can warm up, delete the thing I just wrote, add something else, sit with my iPad and a mug of tea in my living room, which is where I was the very first time I opened the new Freeform, sitting next to a fire. Next to the fire, I forgot some tea. So this is Freeform, and I can write some text, obviously, in the middle there. While I think about that, let's write something imaginative and possibly spelt correctly as well. Seems like a good start. Pop it in the middle of the screen and type, yeah, whatever I've just typed. We can add a post-it note. I don't like post-it notes. I've changed my mind. I'm going to, yep, delete that. Okay, what else can we, oh right, we can do shapes and arrows. We can do arrows. I fancy pointing at something. Okay, and you can wiggle this about and change. Let's give it something to point at. Import a photo. Okay, we can do that. Just got to pick a photo from my ridiculous collection of screenshots and recipes and things. That'll do, that one. The on-air thing. It's from a Stream Deck icon. Position it, it's a bit big. Right, we can resize, move about a bit, just fill up. Give me another arrow and more text, always more text somewhere. I like this. I like this infinite canvas. Just move, keep going as far as you want to go. Add anything more, group things together by the look of it. I'm going to give myself a shape this time. Yeah. Not sure. I'm not keen on the colour. I'm going to change the colour. Actually, I would like that red to match the red of the on-air one. So we'll use this eyedropper tool and just have a little peek in it. And then, well, it looks like I got it kind of right first time. That'll do. So that's red. Zoom out, have a look at it. Zero controls. Don't know what they all do. Changing colours there. Different pencils, things as an eraser. Don't know what this one is. Still don't know what this one is. Sure, it'll become clear later. I can do a really bad exclamation mark. and I can zoom in or out to see my exclamation mark, and I think it's a thing of beauty. So I'm just going to give it a name first to save this for all time. So we've got our Freeform app, we've got our Freeform tools, we've got an iPad. Let's play our game. Every year at about this time, I do take a moment to look ahead for the next 12 months and what I definitely need to do as a writer and in my writing business, but also more importantly, maybe what I want to do in my writing. I may not succeed, and face it, William, 2022's plan had some issues, but if I don't stop now to think ahead, I can lose the whole year just firefighting, responding to whatever happens when it happens, assuming anything actually does happen. Granted, that could just be me. Maybe I'm just projecting, but no, I think I can see it in your eyes. You could do with this too. And if I'm wrong, if you've just got a poker face on right now, I still think it's best to have a specific need, a specific aim, even when you try exploring just a very general purpose app like Freeform. OT, that's my O and that's my T. Unbelievable, isn't it? Operation Telebox. So I think it's on my mind last year. It's going to be on this year. I also need to sort out some money stuff as well. That's actually a pound symbol. This is not embarrassing in the slightest bit. I think let's give me some things that look nice. Apple's own type of arrows. OT, it doesn't matter what order I do these things in, but while that bit's on my mind, let's try to link it to something, put that something in a box to stand out. I mean, I'm looking for tools I now know are there, and I'm trying to think, what am I going for? I need to write something. So okay, well, it's possibly not the most cheerful thing, but I think I need to have to write that it's didn't go brilliantly in 2022. Let's see what we can do in 2023, and we'll put that in the box for emphasis. It's not very helpful, really. I can change the font there, but just carefully position it. I'm going to duplicate this, actually get some more text and say something more useful, more detailed. Well, I say that. Okay, that's a positive thing. I mean, I met lots of people. I did lots of things on this Operation Telebox. I need to go over that and start talking with them again. I mean, we're now getting into specifics of mine. Let me do something else more general. I know the shape. Put this over by honestly, it's a pound sign. Sick of blue. I'm going to call it, make it a positive colour, green. We'll do that, and it's green and it is bigger. That's what it is. Okay, let's pop some text in there. I'm a freelance writer, so my writing is business. I have some regular clients. I have some sort of ad hoc things that I can't predict. Some of that stuff I need to make a bit more reliable if I can. So I'm going to try to replace certain bits. I won't bother you with the detail of it, but I like this. Let's have a very positive arrow. It's the wrong way. Now it's the right way. Okay, so money goes to replace income. That's definitely a thought for it. As far as replacing, I suppose, is new income. Yeah, and I still don't like post-it notes, not even 2 of them. So let's kill those, please. Thank you very much. Don't know how I stumbled into that. What else can we do? Let's bring up the toolbox and pick a pen. All right, let's draw something. Yay. Band off Operation Telebox, keep the money separate. As I draw out a box and start typing on it, I look at that pen mark and I wonder how I'm a human being, and did I not learn anything at school about drawing. However, I like the erase tool. Let's type from now on in, William. Okay, so typing and fiddling with things and the font. It's funny, as I type this, my mind is on what I'm thinking about it. So I'm kind of in and out of the mind map and in and out of my head in a way, but I'm definitely liking these bendable arrows. In fact, I'm going to have another one of those, just duplicate it. That's like a W. Oh, that's a smiley face, didn't mean that. Let's look back at erasing things. You can do all sorts of erasing things. Let's get rid of the OT. Yeah, I'm embarrassed by that one. Now I know I can type on things. I'm going to very slowly erase all of that. And yeah, type in OT. I could do the full Operation Telebox, but let's just make it big. So I'm going to circle it like I mean it, and I'm in some way even a fraction neater. I like how you can hide this toolbox over the side and settings that you can make for it. That's quite good, and you can undo things. That's also, well, that's proving rather helpful, isn't it? Yeah, bit of an empty plan at the moment, but it's got broad areas. When I've done this before, particularly on 58 keys, last couple of years, I've used the mind mapping app MindNode, and then gone on to use Omni Outliner, and then gone on at various points throughout the following year to move bits of these things, these thoughts really, into my to-do app of choice, OmniFocus. I've also skipped things. When I've been showing it to you before, trying to show you mind map and all this, I've kind of skipped through the process because I can't really conceive that you're desperate to know the detail of my writing plans. You've got your own. I feel as long as I've shown you enough that you can judge whether the apps that we talk about are going to be any use to you, well, then we're done, right? I need the plan, I'm working the plan, but I can carry on plotting and scheming in my own time, except with Freeform, what you've seen is pretty much all I did, pretty much all I think I could do. It did help. Actually, it gave me some thoughts, but operating it all, it felt operating, yeah. It felt like I was doing a lot of fiddling to get a little result. That would be different if I were doing it using an Apple Pencil. I mean, it can't happen. My handwriting just won't allow the use of an Apple Pencil. But actually, doubtlessly, Freeform is a good reason to get an Apple Pencil. And actually, I'm also sure that it must be different with Freeform when it's on the Mac. I mean, that's got to be, full-size keyboard, big screen. It's got to be less about pencil movements and finger drag. It's got to be much more about typing, which might suit me more, might suit you more. I'm not sure. Whether we did it on a Mac, an iPad, or an iPhone, though, what we've got now at this stage is a Freeform diagram. I'm not sure what to call it. I've done all I can in Freeform with this. I now need to take what I thought of and use it, which is a problem. As I record this, there is actually a small bug to tell you about in the beta version of Freeform for iPad, which does limit the thing I'm trying to do. It means the share button right here doesn't work. From here in this thing, I can't send this to anyone. I can't email it to myself or whatever. Or at least I can't from here in this version, in the document, the sheet. I don't know. I can come out to the list of... Oh, right. Okay, they're called boards. I would never have got there. Thank you. I can come out to the list of boards, and well, actually a little bit of clunkiness in the beta anyway. I can then share the board from here. So that's good, except no, I don't think it is. So far, bugs aside or whatever, Freeform only lets me take this board and at most send it to somebody somewhere as a PDF. And that is absolutely no use to me at all. I'm now instead going to have to go through this board and separately write up what I've done. Turn the images and the scribbles into a list that I can then later put into my to-do app, or that I could later ask someone to help with. Please do this thing rather than squiggle. Please do. MindNode, by comparison, it lets you take a visual mind map and send that as text, actually, to an app like Omni Outliner. And then Omni Outliner lets you fiddle with the text the way I like, massaging it, changing it, expanding it, and then actually chuck it right back to MindNode if you need that kind of visual view of it again. Freeform does not give you that option to work with the board that you've created, to take it on to something else, anything else. Really, not onto something more that you can... It's funny, a tool that's meant to be for you and me and 100 other people to reach out and work with each other all at the same time, to work with anyone and everyone, is also quite insular. So you've seen Freeform now. I think you know whether you'd like the look of it or not. I do like the look of it. I do like the infinite canvas where you just keep on going. MindNode does that as well. It's the difference between online and paper. Love it. I do also like how, even though I kind of rather gave up on the annual plan, it did give me some thoughts. Getting it out of your head, put it in front of you. It gave me some thoughts about what I want to do next year. I just don't think Freeform is a great fit for me for this project. To achieve what I wanted out of this, the plan for the year, I think I'm going to go back to my node and Omni Outline and then on into OmniFocus. In fact, actually, I'll tell you what, let's find out. If I do that, you will now see a snapshot of my 2023 mind map plan here. Was it there? Did it look doable? Was I any warmer? Listen, I've been doing this every year for, well, longer than I can really easily remember, and there's never been a year in which the plan worked out. But there's also never been a year where having a plan didn't help me do much more than I otherwise would have done. All right, okay, 2022, that was a bit bumpy road. I'm not 100% sure, actually. I've got the nerve to look back at the old 2022 plan to see what I did and didn't do. Kind of have to, I think, in order to properly work, what's left, what can be done in 2023. Have I got the nerve to look? Well, I'll tell you, while I go build up to that, that's it for this edition of 58 Keys. Thank you very much for watching. Now, take care of yourself, write more, and I'll see you soon.